G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in over on the west side of the map, the southwest side of the map, it is going to be Vortex, and he is going to be playing some French for us today. His opponent, who is spawned on the opposite side of the map, it is 400, and he is going to be playing the Chinese today. Now, we've covered both of these players in games before. You can see in the top right-hand corner of the screen, these players are very high ranked. So 400 sitting at rank 70 at the moment, Vortex sitting at rank 12 at the moment. And we are playing, of course, on the map Archipelago. Now, this map has obviously undergone some changes recently. First and foremost, should have plenty more shorefish for you to be accessing now. Also, in addition to that, you'll see all the fish on the mini-map. You will not see shorefish anymore, though. So just something to look out for if you do spot on the minimap any fish that you see, that will 100% be deep sea fish for you. But you can see all this shorefish up here. There is absolutely no shortage of fish, and we are in for quite the game today, I suspect, because not only is this, of course, the only archipelago, but it is also going to be a French versus China game where we are finally seeing the new French on water, and the question is as to whether China is going to be able to keep up with them and keep up with their hulks. So I'm looking forward to seeing exactly how it goes. Obviously, Vortex is an incredibly good player, and he's going to have access to potentially getting some nice coastal trade going in here. A lot of nice trading posts around here, and he's obviously going to be able to scout that out. And one of the great things to note about the French on this map is you can actually determine the location of your enemy based on the trading post location. So if you know the map is Archipelago, you know that, okay, there's a trading post here, and two trading posts can't spawn on the same island. So you've got one trading post, two trading posts, three trading posts. That leaves one of two spots for your enemy to be, up here or down here. And of course, there are two islands there with sacred sites on this one. So both sacred sites spawning on the same island, and it is the neighboring island to 400. So we'll have to see whether he spots that out, but keep in mind, Vortex is going to be on the ball about knowing exactly where he goes. We'll take a look at Vortex, see how he's opening at this stage. 5 villagers here on food, 8 villagers up on wood, and he is now opening up with some fishing boats. Now, in the most recent patch, the fishing boat was nerfed. The cost of the fishing boat was increased from 60 up to 75 wood. They've also changed out the way that things are displayed to you. So you can see that we've got the first age, and then you've got the second age, and then you've got the third age, and then you've finally got the Imperial age, and it's also reflected subsequently with the technologies that are here as well. And so a nice little quality of life change there. We'll check in over on the Chinese player, see exactly what he's up to. So instead of using his opening sheep, he's actually decided I'm going to be using shorefish with some villagers. And this is really smart because shorefish do actually gather very quickly for villagers. They are one of the fastest gathering sources of food in the game, so super nice for him. And now plenty of villagers out on this wood line. He's got 9 villagers out here. One of them is building a house. And a single villager on gold. He's going to be able to gather this one up with his Imperial official. And now doing pretty well on the ocean. He's got 5 fishing boats out at the moment. His opponent only sitting on 4. Keep in mind, the Chinese do generate or do train, do create, let's just say, their docks have 20% faster production. So 400 is going to be in a pretty decent spot here heading into that mid game. And look at how tight his macro is at the moment. So very low wood, very low food. And he's going to be looking to age up shortly. 3 villagers onto gold right now. And I'm curious what kind of play we're going to be seeing here from 400. There's a couple of different options that he's going to have, obviously playing China. So the first one is the fast castle. So I've seen Boit do a fast castle with China. He can actually get up to the castle age, I think, in about 6 minutes 20, 6 minutes 30, which is pretty early when you think about it. You can go straight up into demo ships, but keep in mind, demo ships, they're not as good in the castle age as they are in the Imperial age, so that is something to note. And the alternative, obviously, is that, when the Chamber of Commerce is going up, there's probably going to be an all-in attack, but you can do something where you just basically don't even invest in water. But I would expect that 400 is probably going to play quite heavy on water, so we'll have to see exactly how he goes. Vortex going to be aging up with 5 villagers on the landmarks, going for a super fast age up here. Doesn't look like he's going to be interested in trading resources at the moment. Might be just going for a single Hulk opening. Sometimes you do see players go for a double Hulk opening, but obviously going up with the Chamber of Commerce, it's going to mean that he's going to have plenty of resources that he's able to trade out. He's actually dropping down the second dock now. So a lot of villagers here on gold, and this is very curious because normally you would expect not a lot of villagers on gold, just primarily because he's going to click up and then he's going to sell food, going up with the Chamber of Commerce. But it begs the question as to whether he's going to have enough wood actually in the stockpile to do it. So we'll have to see exactly what he does, what he plans to do. I can't imagine that he'd be going for any potential upgrade here. I'm very curious as to what we're actually going to be witnessing him from Vortex. So let's take a look. His opponent still dropping, or actually dropping down that Imperial Academy right away. So tapping up with 3 villagers, it goes down now. Do we see a market getting dropped down immediately upon age up? It doesn't look like it at this stage. No market. What have we got in the way of outgoing units? We've got the junk. Market is now being dropped down. We'll take a look back at Vortex's position. He has sold 200 food at this stage, and does have that double dock out. He's got his first Hulk, and going to be taking additional sales. So we've seen Vortex play water before. He's a big fan of going for this early additional sales, so very nice from him. 11 villagers on gold at this point, and you got to wonder, what is he doing with all this gold? This is a huge amount of gold. I guess he's just not planning to sell a lot of his food, so maybe he's thinking about heading up to the castle age a little bit sooner. Obviously, picking up additional sales is going to mean that he's able to sort of leverage the power of the all-important demolition ship, which, as you guys know, is truly the king when it comes to the castle age. Additional sales now going to be coming in for him, selling off a little bit more food. We see that his opponent has also sold off, I think, another 200 food himself, but now going to be heading up with some junks. He's got the triple dock out, 2 junks being trained right now. Doesn't have the blacksmith out just yet, but he will want to get that blacksmith out because that extra damage is going to really start to stack up. Just to give you an idea of how much extra damage we're going to be talking about, okay? The Hulk has got 2 armor. That's been nerfed from 6 down to 2, okay? Now, we take a look at the junk. It has got 8 damage, okay? So it does 2 burst attacks times 2. So essentially, you've got 32 damage here. But obviously, when you consider the armor, it's only 6 damage a pop right there that's happening. So 6 times 4, 24 damage. That would be up to 28 damage if he gets +1 attack. So it's really important for him to try and get that. Huge amount of junks already coming out here. You can see the Hulk moving out now for Vortex, actually heading through the misted area. So going to have no idea until it pops out the other side. But even then, it's going to have absolutely no clue where to go because its line of sight is quite limited. And you can see him moving up here towards the north. I mentioned earlier, he will know that either is in the north or the south of this side, but does spot this island. And it looks like he is going to commit. He spots out the fishing boat, but he might be a little bit over his head at this point because the Hulk is going to get chased down very effectively by these junks. So China looking quite strong on water, and you really got to ask the question, has the Hulk been sunk at this stage of the game? Because we've got... How many more Hulks have we got coming out? Just a single Hulk coming out now. This Hulk is almost guaranteed to be going down. What 400 needs to do is just move up. As far as I remember, these junks will automatically attack. So as long as he gets into range. But do note, he does have that movement speed upgrade. 1.29 movement speed versus the 1.5. He is right-clicking the Hulk. He just needs to move right in next to it, and that's going to help him out. A second Hulk coming in. Going to be shelling down the fishing boats here in front of the base of 400. He's going to react to this immediately. Otherwise, he will start to lose those fishing boats, and we can now see that the junk is going to start to separate and follow this Hulk as he begins to look for the base of his opponent. I think he realizes he may be in a bit of a dead end here and has turned around and headed back towards his opponent's main base, which he's still not sure about the location of. We see a couple of capsized fishing boats there. Unfortunate end for them, but unfortunately they will be off to a better place because they are no longer going to be around in this game. But there is a Hulk here. He could definitely come back across the water and look to potentially flank that one. 3 more Hulks now coming out for Vortex at this point. No age up in queue just at the moment, but still gathering up a lot of resources. We take a look. He does have the +1 upgrades for both mining as well as for chopping, so his economy is in a decent spot. He's looking to hold on right now, but Vortex got to be careful. No +1, at least I don't think has come through just yet. I'd have to double check as he does a little bit of a dance. Actually, I take it back. We do have the +1 coming through as well as the +1 armor, but I'll be honest with you, +1 armor isn't really going to do a lot considering you've got Hulks that do 100 damage. So essentially, they go from doing, 98 damage down to 97. It's not a particularly big win, but 11 junks going to be coming out now for 400, and definitely seems like Vortex is on the back foot here. Obviously, he's going to be playing a bit more defensive. We see a house going up, so that is not an outpost, and it looks like Vortex is trying his best to spin to win here. A lot of that damage is being spread out, and you can see that the junks are coming in, trying their best to focus down this Hulk on the front line. It is getting healed up by the dock. It's probably going to be going down. We've got plenty of hulks that remain back here, 5 hulks, and it does look a little bit funny when they do this spinning, but keep in mind the junks are actually doing a pretty decent job of focusing these down. We take a look at the health pool. 2 of them have managed to come down to about 50% HP, but he has evened up the numbers significantly. They're really demonstrating that you do need to spin if you do want to win on water, and very well played there by Vortex. But I will note, 400 has got map control. That is really, really, you know, that is a rarity for the Chinese on a water map. Normally, it is just the French who are going to shut them down. So the fact that the hulks are having a difficult time here, it's a great thing to see. So ideally, what I really would have loved to have seen from 400 is potentially getting up to around that 10, 11 junk mark, and then looking at getting up to the next age, and then potentially getting out those all-important explosive junks. That would really turn the tide of battle. He's got this super-duper close to his base, so this is a really advantageous thing because it means he's going to be able to use this to bait in those hulks and use them to flank very effectively. So I think he's going to be in a pretty decent position come the mid-game here, especially considering the spawn that he has had with this. So hopefully we'll see how he plays it. We'll see, you know, whether he's able to utilize that a little bit better. Probably going to need to get... Oh my god, look at this gold vein spawning in the water. That is very curious. Might need to add another dock down here because he's got quite a distance to go down towards these fish. The other alternative would just be to dock up this island. That might give you a little bit more leverage. Not going to have the option to castle here, but may potentially need to look at moving out onto the map because one of the things to note is there's not a lot of wood on these starting islands. So you've got essentially one forest. That's it. And it spawns differently. Some maps give you one forest, some give you 2. You can see over on this island, there's actually a fair bit of forest out here, but up towards the north, this is where it's especially dense, so this is great. Vortex going up to the next age, going up with Guild Hall, going to be about to get up there. There he is now, going up. New age begins for him. Let's take a look and see exactly what he does. I suspect he's probably going to be getting some of these navigator lookouts, maybe long guns. I can't imagine he'd be getting long guns unless he's really going to be thinking about galleasses at this point. I'd love to see him add in another dock or 2 and just continue to keep that fish income rolling in, because at the moment he's only got 8 fishing boats, and sure, on a map like this, that's all you really need. You don't need that much more than that, but you know, it's still nice. Still got a really good sell rate here for fish, for food as well. So like sometimes I will just overinvest in my fishing economy to the point where that'll be down at 10 gold. And so, you know, it's not a poor investment. The fishing boats are always going to be paying off. But now Vortex in the next age, we'll take a look at exactly what he's getting. And he's going for the armored hull, so increasing the armor of his military ships by 2. Also going to be getting out some demo ships of his own. So not looking to get that navigator lookout, which is one of the stronger upgrades here. So going to increase the line of sight as well as the weapon range by +2 and 1 respectively. But now really looking at investing in those demo ships and sinking the fleet of his opponent. We'll take a look now over at 400's perspective. He does look like he wants to age up himself. There's no Barbican out for him, so he's not going to be able to hit that dynasty just yet. Obviously, a lot of his economy is out on the water here as well. He's got 8 fishing boats, just like his opponent, but now those hulks are going to begin moving in towards the enemy base, and he doesn't actually know where they are, and he's not too concerned at the moment, the French player, either, by being here, because he doesn't have, well, he knows his opponent doesn't have any I was going to say any flaming casseroles. I don't know where I've heard that before. That just sort of came into my brain. He doesn't have any explosive dows like his opponent does, but you can see the way he's baiting it. He wants him to come back towards this, and you can see the flank maneuver now moving around as the explosive demolition ship comes in. He's got to wake up. I don't think he's woken up. The first one comes in. You can see how much damage it gets done. The second one was coming in behind. Here it goes. It looks like it's going to blow up, and he's going to lose his entire fleet. It sinks about 6 junks at that point, and there's only a few junks that now remain, and that is just how quickly the demo ships can destroy things when it comes to water. Absolutely destruction. Absolutely destruction. Absolutely destructive. Absolute destruction. Terrible, terrible damage. Say what you want, but I would say at this point, Vortex is in an absolutely huge lead. We can see he's doubling up the score right now of his opponent. He's going to be able to come in here. He's going to be able to secure water. All of the fishing boats will be going down. I don't think there's any way he retains these docks, despite going up with 7 villagers on that landmark, but it's just not going to be enough at this point. And really, you got to start wondering, is there any way back into this game for 400? Now, I'll be honest with you guys, I can see one way in the game for him to come back. Go to Imperial, go get your big bombards, and go just try and drop onto your enemy island and just kill all their landmarks. That is the only way I can actually see him potentially winning here. It can be hard, though, because there's really not a lot of ways across. I mean, you might have to come and even, you know, drop villagers off on this island and then build a dock down here and then begin shuttling them down. But that's the only real way I can think for 400 to actually win this. 400 now clicking up to the next stage. He's going to try. No, he's not even going to try and get anything out. Is he docking on the backside? It doesn't look like he's docking on the the backside. So I think at this point, 400's probably got not much of a chance. He has spread out a couple of his fishing boats, but obviously they're not going to be able to do anything at this stage. There's a couple of demo ships actually set up here towards the north. A single Hulk is going to come up, and we've definitely got a bit of an advantage now for his opponent. And so in this position, what does Vortex want to do? Vortex ideally wants to look for the sacred sites. Now, he should know that they should be, obviously, somewhere on this map. There are sacred sites, but he should be able to tell that they should be up here just because there's no trading post on this island. So the way that Archipelago spawns, typically, you won't have the trading post. I take that back. We do have a trading post up on this island. Wow. Oh, we've actually got triple trading posts. I just realized. Normally, you don't actually get a trading post on the same island with the sacred sites, but I might be wrong there. I may be wrong. I will retract that statement for now, just because I'm not 100% sure. Springald's going to be coming out now for 400 and looking to put on the hurt here. Not going to be particularly effective against that. Keep in mind, these Hulks, I don't think they're technically siege, so only 60 damage going to be coming out for these guys. Who knows? Maybe that's probably a different tag that you could get, you know, putting it so that they get 20 damage extra against attack ships as well. It makes sense. It makes sense. We'll take a look now back towards his base. Now, Vortex going to be very heavy on gold at this point. Doesn't have that second upgrade just yet, but has the full surround on his enemy at this point. He's very, very happy. He's probably going to need to think about a second gold or second wood source at this point because, as you can see, there's not a lot of trees left on his island, at least not a lot of forest. There's obviously a lot of stragglers, but he's going to have to consider moving at some point. But now we've got plenty of stables that are getting thrown down, so he might be looking for a potential night raid. So we'll have to keep an eye out on exactly what his choices are. A lot of fishing boats out now. 15 fishing boats out for him. He's actually got 2 more out. There's another one up here, so a total of 18 fishing boats. And we do have our first transport ship coming out. Monastery also being constructed. So he's going to be looking to move amongst probably up towards the north, I would imagine. But we'll see exactly how he works that out and whether he's able to scout that out. Probably needs to get that scout dropped in and just scouting out the other islands. But now going to be going into the Imperial Age, it looks like, for Vortex. So he's really paying attention there. And now we see over on the shoreline of his opponent, 400 actually going to be trying his best to take out that Hulk, but not going to be able to do it. And the Hulk getting away. Cheeky little Hulk. It's got an extra bit of damage there, but transport ship now going to be coming out, and I suspect he's probably looking to get down over onto this island. We'll have to see exactly how he manages to do it and whether this transport ship's going to be able to get through. Hulk sitting out here waiting. What's the line of sight on that bad boy? Not enough, unfortunately, so he will be able to scoot around it, but keep in mind there are more Hulks all around this island. He is keeping him safe, but now those Springalds are going to be having a field day out here, managing to take out the first Hulk. Second Hulk now looking to fire in upon these Springalds. And they're getting some decent shots back right now. So he is going to be trying his best to get in there. Going up to the Imperial Age. We'll take a look at what he's going up with. And it is the College of Artillery. So no surprises there. Definitely not going to be going to Red Palace on a map like this. Vortex now hitting the Imperial Age. And we actually see 400 going for a Dynasty here. So looking to get a bit of line of sight out on the map. We'll take a look at where he's got that. He's actually going up back over here, Imperial Palace. So I think he's looking to scout out his enemy at this point and see where he is. Try and get an idea and then look to potentially drop him. I think that's what's happening. Springald now coming out, doing a little bit of micro. Look how much damage comes in on those Springalds as well as the Hulks try their best to do a bit of shooting and scooting, but not a whole lot of killing, unfortunately. That Dynasty is going to hit. You guys are going to see all the line of sight that gets down here on this minimap. Take a look at this. 3, 2, 1. There it is. So he's going to hit that Y button and he's just going to tap out. He's going to say, oh, wait, he hit Imperial. All right, well, there you go. Now you have seen the true power of the demo ship on water, why it's so important. Fellas, I hope you've enjoyed this casted game, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.